Roughneck Racing would like to thank our sponsor, Wagoner Welding. Wagoner Welding is a family-owned and operated business located in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. They specialize in custom-built truck beds and framework of all types. You can reach them at 336-670-3427 or visit the shop located at 446 DeHart Church Road.
Welcome, race fans, to tonight's race for Roughneck Racing at the James Wagner's Welding Truck Series. I'm going to be your host tonight, Robert Warrens for Speed Zone TV. Excited to get the action underway at Talladega Superspeedway. We're here for 60 laps tonight, and it's going to be an exciting one. We just came from Auto Club last week. We were at Iowa Speedway in Phoenix. Now we're coming to a super speedway, and it's going to be very different action tonight. So I'm super excited to be here with you guys tonight with Speed Zone TV for race number 8. We got quite the interesting points battle kicking off. I think these drivers are starting to settle in. There's not very many races left. But tonight we're looking at a 70-degree track temp with partly cloudy cover with 4-mile-an-hour winds with 93% humidity. We're going to have to watch out to see if we're going to see some storm clouds coming in on this 2.6-mile oval. So big track. We're going to quickly take a look at the grid. We got a big field of cars tonight. I'm showing that there is 29 cars in the field. Insane. So just looking at the grid, we're gonna have to roll through what's going on. We probably won't be able to get through everyone before they take the green flag. But looking at our pole sitter tonight is that 51 machine of Hurst. Outside is Niegels in the 6 machine, Copperthorne in the 98 machine in 3rd, Hunter 27 in 4th, 74 machines of Hennings in 5th, Miller in the 5 machine in 6th, Richardson in the 2 machine in 7th, Louder, the 23 truck in 8th, Darnell in the 20 truck in 9th, Schuessler, the 61 machine in 10th, Mama T. Spicer in the 70 machine in 11th, Presley in the 44 machine 12th, 13th is the 96 machine of Barker. 14th is Greg Spicer in the 10 machine. And let's see if we can just roll through to next. '15th is BB in the 83 machine, Pylan in the 29 machine in 16th, Tate in the 50 machine in 17th, Aguiar 08 machine in 18th, Ramsey the 13 machine in 19th, Idgrig the 40 machine in 20th, Fairman in the 99 machine. The pace truck is ducking off, so we're going to have to go through the rest of these. I'm showing in the field. Wasn't much of an option for me not to show in the field tonight. Adamson, the 46 machine in 23rd position, but we're going to get back under action here. We'll go through some of the trucks in the field later on as these guys are getting ready to rock and roll. Good start by that 51 machine of Hurst. So tonight we're going to be rolling through some of these paints and celebrating some of the drivers. So Roughneck Racing has elected to do a throwback scheme for tonight, and we're going to be taking a look at everything that's going on for these paints. So expect these drivers to be slicing and dicing and mixing it up. Big field of cars tonight, bigger than usual, and it's looking like these drivers are going to want to be getting it all shimmied down and take the jewel from Talladega Superspeedway tonight. Eagles is looking to go on the outside of Hurst right away with Hennings in behind him. Wide already. These drivers are mixing it up. There's lots of racing left. these guys do have a fast repair, some tires and whatnot, but it's going to be very interesting to see as to is going to be part of that first caution. Have to go and wait for an intermission here to see if we can draw more cars on the track, because we're only showing about the top 18 in the field, which is not usual. So we just saw Nichols there swap lanes as he's protecting the draft. Two by two, looking pretty clean. Further look back in the field here. A little wobbling as it looks like it's getting a push. Into turn 3, Nichols drops down to the bottom again. The whole field is just pancaked together. Back a little bit further in the field. Still just a blanket over the entire field as these guys are ticking down laps. That's pretty intense. The 6 machine has actually been pretty dominant. I've not seen him on one of these races for the Truck Series before, but it's looking like he's come out to dance with his dancing shoes as he's led majority of the laps early on in the race here. Down the backstretch, they're gonna go. My bad, that's the front stretch. I think we're going to be coming in around lap 25 or so, so I think it's going to be very interesting to see if we can see some of the pit strategies that occur, whether people take 2 tires, 4 tires, no tires, and just top up in fuel and go. You can see just a little bit of haze in the sky from that humidity, creating a little bit of cloud cover here, as these drivers are just tandem, nose to tail, coming down the front stretch again. Yellow flag is out. Not sure if we're going to be able to see everything here as to what brought it out. Try to take a look here, but it's not drawing me to a car, unfortunately, so it doesn't look like we're going to be able to see what occurred. Might be further back in the field. Back that up a little. What we can find from our Speed Zone TV instant replay. Down, we're not past yet. Get a different camera angle here. It looks like it's happening in front of that 13. Taking a look to isolate where the issue is. Looks like there's contact there in front of that 13 machine with the 23 car across the nose of the 8 machine of Aguilar, with Pylon on the high side in that 29 machine. So let's back it up one more time. We'll take a different look at it, see what we can see, what occurred right here. Pause it. We'll find the 23 of Louder. So it looks like he drifts up the track. Aguilar looks low. Go 3. And just slight contact there. Unfortunate incident there. I'm not sure how I would call that, but tough break for Pylon on the outside. All right, let's get back to live action as this all starts to shuffle forward. Probably going to see some drivers come in for fuel and start to, make some of that strategy happen. So, like I was saying earlier tonight, well, not even that much earlier, about 5 minutes ago, we are kicking off a throwback scheme tonight. So some of these drivers have done their homework. We're going to take a look at one of them meow with you guys at home so you can get some perspective of what's going on. So I'm going to try to watch the pace truck. Hopefully somebody keeps me honest. We should have another lap here. And let's just move it to lights are still on. So here we are, bottom right hand side of the screen. We're showing a Looney Tunes version of Dale Earnhardt Jr. Debuted in 2002. We're going to match it up to the paint here once we find this driver in the field. Going to squint one eye and look through the names. Get zoomed in on it. This will be our first throwback paint. It'll be up to you guys at home to see how Adamson has done it. Looking like a pretty good mix-up tribute paint here. Unfortunately, we can't get rid of that fog right now, but looks like Adamson's done a good job. That'll be our first one. We're going to try to get through more of these as the race progresses. But great job by Adamson there for a little tribute to Junior. Waiting for leaders to shuffle out here to figure out what's going on up front. Ticker is having a heck of a time. First caution of the night, you saw it there. Lauder and Aguilar get together with Pylon underneath. Definitely a tough one to call. Lights are out on the pace truck. These guys are going to double up. Let's maybe do another one quickly here. We saw him already. It's a spoiler alert. Hopefully he's got it repaired now from getting collected. But shout out to Pylon in his paint. Doing a good tribute to Harvick from his 2002 Monte Carlo. He's done it quite well. Looks like a good match if you could just once again remove that fog. Go back up to our leaders here. Wait for some more action to occur. Guys, coming down the backstretch still. It's Adamson's and Pylon's throwbacks paint. We got some more in the field, so we're definitely going to get through those. 4 winners so far in this season of the 8 races that have occurred. I'm wondering if we're going to see a new winner tonight as we're moving to a different style of racing. You've saw Eagles get out in front and mix it up and hold some good pace in front of Hennings and Hurst. But now in the hot seat, we have Miller and Schuessler holding the 2 rows. Up at the starter stand as we wait for cars to come around here. That green flag gonna creep in the top left-hand side of the screen. Here they come now. And they're off. Even as they come across the line there. Down into turn 1. Takes it to turn 2 down the backstretch. I don't know if that's an act. Ooh, she's a big one. We'll try to get a better view. looks like a bunch of cars were collected in there, and that's going to be carnage for iRacing. We're going to back that up. I think I saw them go 3 wide there as we're playing, the cameraman's playing games with you viewers at home. We're going to back that up here. We're going to throw up a little screen here just so we can take a look at the Speed Zone TV instant replay and make sure we get it right. But that was heavy contact. I'm not exactly sure what happened, but we're going to try to see if we can see it all here. All right, so I'm going to drop our instant replay cam here. Currently on board with Hurst. I'm going to go to our chase cam here. See, Hennings is pushing Schuessler, and Eagles is going 3 wide on Miller. Tight to the line. Hurst is now 3 wide. Eagles is tight on the line, slight contact. Hurst is coming down. Eagles bump on Miller, but I mean, running real tight, unfortunately, and that's going to be hard contact with Hurst. Good move by the 99 machine and the 23 to get by. Hurst hard into the wall. Beebe with nowhere to go in that 83 machine. And just tons of carnage. '78 machine is gonna blink out there for a second. There's just too much going on for the servers to pick up everything, unfortunately. But you saw the contact there as we go back to live action. Hurst is now rolling into the pits. I don't know if his motor's dead. Can't hear any sound. Tough break for the field of cars there. We're going to have to get back to live action here. 1 second while I toggle the screen. All right, that should work. Saw it here live on Speed Zone TV. That's our second caution of the night. Not sure as much. I guess the 23 was resulting in the first caution, that collected pylon there. You saw Hurst 3 wide now, and a little bit of carnage as well. Our current leader is that 61 machine of Schuessler. Newer to the series, he's just coming out. Hennings is our current points leader with 2 wins so far this season. We'll take a look at Hennings' paint here. Let's get a little zoomed in on him. That may be familiar to some of you folks at home. Look for Hennings' image. And if you guessed it, you probably guessed it correct. Hennings is doing a Cold Trickle Days of Thunder throwback, movie from the 1990s. You know, I don't want to date myself at all, but I was a cool 9 years old, and you know, as I was growing up, that was definitely a movie that I watched time and time again. So great job by Hennings to bring that to light tonight. Little twist with his VRX teammates on that machine. Lights are off on the pace truck. These guys are going to go again. It's lap 12 of 60. 48 laps to go. Lots of time left. We've seen some good racing. Unfortunately, these cautions are killing the pit strategy. And that's not what I want to see or you guys want to see at home. Take a look at our pit stop laps. Just curious. See, Darnell and Barker and Fairman are the cars that have pitted in the top 8 so far. So a different fuel strategy here. And, you know, if this does go green, we might get to see some interesting things happen. as far as fuel strategy. Base truck is coming around to turn 3. Next week, we will be heading to, just taking a look at the schedule, Nashville Superspeedway for race number 9 on the season. Only 4 races left after tonight. A very tight points battle for the drivers at the Wagoner's Welding Truck Series. As we mentioned, Hennings is currently our leader, and with a marginal gap over P2. It's 5 points over Pyle in the 29. We've shown Adamson already. He's in 3rd, and then Hurst in the 51 machine, who we just saw was involved in that accident, and Richardson, who we haven't covered yet, is currently 5th in points, so we'll have to get over him shortly to do a little work. Schuessler doesn't get the start on Hennings that he was hoping for, and we got Hennings taking the lead on the outside with Darnell and Barker on the outside. Hennings and Darnell drop, and the second line is forming with Barker and I believe that's Fairman in a new paint. There's no Canadian Tire on that truck tonight. It's also looks to be like a Sterling Marlin paint in the Coors Light. Two by two up front, 3 wide through the dog, or the trial, mixing it up. This PGR truck is giving good pushes. Hennings, he's right on the bumper. You know, you got to be mindful of the temperatures of these vehicles. If the water temp does get in the 285 degree range, they will pop. And you know, if you are in a position up front and you're unaware of the motor being that hot and it decides to grenade in front of the field, that could be carnage. And you know, Talladega is known as the big speedway, or where the big one happens. You know, that's synonymous with Daytona as well. 3 wide through 10th. And it's really deceiving from a viewer perspective to look at the field and recognize how many cars are actually there. But looking at the field, it's like all 26 cars are within a second of each other, which is absolutely insane. Down the backstretch they go into turn 3. Now I feel like if you blink, we're going to miss something. Three by three, look at that. Talented drivers at season number 6 here for these drivers. We're looking everywhere for an opportunity to make a move. It looks like the high line is mounting up a charge. I wasn't expecting that just now. Adamson was leading the outside line. I'm not sure what happened, but runner that we haven't seen up front tonight is that 30 machine, Doug Wagoner. He had a good run the last couple races and hasn't been victorious just yet. Tonight might be the night. Him down, lap 16. Hurst has made his way back up front, showing some talent at the Superspeedway. 78 machine as well. Manning is up front. Maybe we could take a second with those two drivers while this racing is going on. to highlight them. We'll get zoomed in a second. But if you take a look at the bottom right-hand side of the screen, zoom in on that 78 machine. So you can take a better look. But tribute to Ron Hornaday from 2009. I believe that was a championship truck. Done it justice right there. And we haven't talked about it yet, but definitely has already got a lot of airtime. Is rehearsed in that 51 machine. So that's a 1994 throwback of Neil Bonnet's car. Interesting enough about that paint scheme is that Neil Bonnet was an advocate of the early Hans device and saved another driver's life. He actually later on went on and passed away as that driver came back to thank him and was unable to do so. And that driver was shocked to find out of his passing. Very hard news. I mean, you consider it all right, and you know, you go back to thank somebody. But he did save Andy Farr's life. Third line's mounting up again. And that's 4 wide. Getting crazy here. Eagles looking to make the moves out there. It's getting intense out here, friends. I don't know if we have friends left. Going down the backstretch into turn 3. 99 machine at Fairman. Got a good run with Pilot in behind. That 13 machine is Ramsey. We haven't seen him up front consistently just yet. Wagner jumps to the high side, looking for a little love. And that's Aguilar on the outside. These guys are all super tight. It's just crazy racing tonight. And remember Auto Club, you know, they were single file or 2x2, but there's not a lot of room to breathe here as these guys are running 3x3. Hennings drops in front of first. Wagner's getting a push by Neagle on the outside. That inside line is falling apart. It's looking like that 99 machine. I don't remember what that is. It's definitely mislabeled. The blue car on the bottom side. Excellent racing by these drivers at Ruff. Slight contact. Person Manning. Manning is able to shuffle back. Oh! Heavy contact. The yellow flag is out. I'm going to try to see what happened. Happened so quick. We just missed it. Take a look here. Not sure what the camera is going to show us, so act surprised just like I will. It's looking like 29 of Pylon and the 10 machine get together, and hard contact for that 44 machine and Pylon. Just back that up one more time. Try to get a little bit better perspective as to what might have occurred. We're going to pop on 9 machine. 10 machine, maybe a little bit higher than expected, and then slight contact in netcode. Hooking the 44 machine of Presley. I mean, that's not how these two drivers want to, you know, get their airtime, but, you know, you saw Pylon already get acknowledgement for his throwback. We're going to go back to live action because it's just wreaking havoc on everything. Get back up front here. I believe we're still in a replay mode. Going to be a lot of damaged trucks for that. unfortunate break for everyone that was involved. Drivers are gonna have to be using their fast repair. Not sure if Presley had to tow. That's who the camera is on just now. You can see that. We'll take a look. Unfortunately, we didn't get it up in time, but take a look now. I did some research here. There was a time where Sterling Marlin was running this car, but with the coloring on Presley's car, it's actually David Stremme who ran that machine. You see the drivers ducking in and out of the pits. They want to top up for fuel as we're lap 23 of 60 under caution here. Hopefully Presley gets back out there and we're able to see that truck nice and clean. Drivers do have a fast repair. I'm unsure if he's used it now, but we're gonna have to just kind of keep watching out for what's going on. Wait for everything to kind of settle down in pit lane to see who our current leader is. Going to be interesting to see the mix of pit strategies here. You know, track position is very important at a super speedway, and we've seen some crazy carnage here. These drivers have been super respectful, and with this different style of racing, you know, you don't have to worry about tire degradation the same. Do they play a slight advantage? Absolutely so. Looks like Eagles is back up front again, with Hurst in behind Hennings. Estrada Chase, he's a new driver for us here. Take a look at that there. Nice looking 8 machine. While we're here, we'll take a look at Barker, who's repping a throwback tonight. Giving a shout out to Terry Labonte's 2002 Monte Carlo. Some frosted flakes. Oh yeah. With the got milk on the hood. Nice looking machine tonight. Take a look at one of the other cars that we haven't put the camera on much just yet. Will be the 56 machine of Richards. Richards is supporting a Kevin Harvick throwback from 2012. Hunt's Brothers Pizza. A lot of Chevys that are throwbacks. I don't know if there's many Ford or Toyota fans back in the day. Nice looking machine. It looks like a pretty close match. Slightly different variation on the door skin, but what are you gonna do? Go back up to our leaders here. We're still kind of shuffling around. Click through the fields. It does draw a couple different cars. We'll have to be mindful of that. Made his way back to the front. Nearing almost halfway of the race, we've unfortunately seen these cautions that have taken away some of the racing that I was hoping for you guys at home tonight. But nonetheless, we've seen some good moves so far, and we've seen some different lane changes and the ability to shift lanes. It's looking like my early kind of feels is that if the outside line can stack up, that third groove can stack up, you're likely going to see that outside groove be dominant, especially if they know how to push. These trucks in, we're going to get another restart here. take the outside on the restart. Mistretta on the outside. Big swoop. Drops down. Chris is going to use that momentum. Barker in behind Mistretta. I believe that's the 10 machine of Greg Speicher. Oh, getting loose. Mistretta ducks it down low. Let's see if Mistretta's able to enter the track safely. Great job by Mistretta there, getting the bump. Drivers are able to shuffle back together. Fairman and Wagner on the outside line. That 99 machine is actually Darnell, with the 70 machine of Mama T in behind. Take a look at our weather quickly, see if anything's changed. So we're showing a temperature of 72 degrees. The humidity's come down a slight bit at 91, and we're still partly cloudy with 103 track temp. That's probably going to cook some of these tires. These guys are getting a little bumpy, but there is still lots of racing left. Barker on the tail of Hurst, trying to make that outside line move. Hennings doing a good job of helping Eagles. By drafting. Down the backstretch. Look from a different camera, see if what else is going on. We'll take a look a little bit further back in the field. Taking a look with the camera on the 40 machine of Isgrig. The new paint for Isgrig tonight. We don't know anything about it, but if you squint one eye and you look at it, it looks like it says Netflix on the hood. Slight contact with the 5 machine. Not sure who that was. Take a look at another car. Second here, we'll just pop back up to our leaders. Looks like Hennings is now out front. Being pushed by Hurst on the inside 9, and Eagles has been dominant up front the whole race. Not sure if we're going to see him slip out, but there you go. That outside line has worked together. They've got a good 2-truck lead to the inside line. Let's see as they come down the corner. We're coming to the corner of 2. What happens here? Like contact. Tight door-to-door racing. Three wide. Wagner's on the outside. Gets a slight tap. 46 machine of Adamson. They went 3 wide there and really nowhere to go. We're going to have to back this one up. Won't use our fancy replay tool. We're just going to back it up the old-fashioned way. So bear with me 1 second as we move that back and we take a look at what exactly happened here. Looks like to me, back up. Camera goes sometimes forward before it goes backwards. All right, so here we are with our Speed Zone TV instant replay. Taking a look at our chase cam. Camera's on Adamson. We have Mama T to the inside. That's the 40 machine of Isgrig with Wagner in front. You can see a good contact bump from Isgrig on Wagner. Isgrig shoots down to the bottom of the track, making contact with Adamson and unfortunately into Ramsey, who's also sporting a Days of Thunder paint. Schuessler nowhere to go. And that's going to be hard contact for Adamson into the wall. Looking like Richardson got it woed up before sustaining heavy damage. Let's back it up. What occurred? Good job by Richardson. Actually, an amazing job by Richardson to avoid heavy contact there. Slight damage on the left rear. We're likely going to see some damage on the left front or the door. But overall, like, great job. It's back to live action now as Richardson's coming into the pits. Take a look at Richardson's car from a different angle. Sporting the 2 machine. So you might have thought it. I might be telling you old news. But Richardson's sporting a 1992 throwback to Rusty Wallace. And a good job of mirroring the paint scheme right there. Not gonna lie, I'm a fan of Miller Genuine Draft as well. Back up front and see who's in front of a pack of cars now. Mitch Tretta looks like has not elected to pit. Looking like there's slight damage on the right rear of the car. That the nightmare. That's crazy. You know, I think as a truck has damage in the super speedways, that rear damage is not likely to be big of a degradation to getting top speed as somebody with nose damage. So Mistretta is going to be able to lead, but perhaps see that outside line get a better run. We'll have to stay mindful of what the heck is going on. Lights are still on the pace truck. Been a quiet night for the 08 machine of Aguiar. Let's take a look at Aguiar here as he catches up the field. Another alcoholic beverage vehicle in the field. There might be a theme with Roughneck Racings and the Wagoner Welding Truck Series. These guys might like their brews. But Aguiar's doing a great job here of giving a tribute to Junior in his 2006 tribute paint to his father, actually, the late Dale Earnhardt Sr. Beautiful looking machine right there. Like Mistretta has elected to start on the outside. Very interesting as the lights are off on the pace truck. And we're about to go back to green flag action. Next week we're going to Nashville Superspeedway, moving away from this super speedway style racing, even though that Nashville's got Superspeedway in the name. Or is it just Speedway? Somebody's going to have to do a fact check. We're going to pop up the schedule and look at it. Yep, I ain't crazy, it says Superspeedway. Definitely not a Superspeedway by characteristic, but it is a high speed track. Typically a little bit looser than what this place is. and will require a lot of talent from these drivers to get it done. Race truck is now in. Looks like the outside line's been the way to go. Stretta gets a great start, but leaves Spicer behind and is able to drop to the bottom in front of Eagles. Again, hung out to dry, that 10 machine, as the inside line forms with about 10 cars on the bottom. It looks like the rest of the field has tapered off a little bit. There might have been a shuffle a little bit further back, but you can see that the field has singled out. I'm going to take a look at, well, we got the time right here. We're going to take a look at Copperthorn's machine right now. And Copperthorn is sporting a 2005 Dale Jarrett throwback, the UPS. I believe Dale was a winner here at Talladega that year, so we're going to have to see if Copperthorn taps into his juju to get up front and make something of tonight. Back up front with Chase, Stretta, Eagles pushing. Stretta slides up. Big bump from Hurst. And that's what these drivers are going to have to do to keep momentum. Looks like Hennings rooted up Eagles a bit as Darnell is in behind Hennings with that 10 machine there. Big bumps from everyone. Don't know if we're going to see carnage. Now we're 3 wide. No carnage occurs, but looks like that 8 machine is blinking. Fanned out quite a bit. I don't know if the second half of the field is suffering from damage and is unable to repair their vehicles, but we have 26 laps to go. We're just over halfway. Race number 8 tonight at Talladega Superspeedway. This is a battle for your lead. You got 7 trucks in the lead. The second pack of cars there, not too far behind. If they start to single up, there's no reason that they shouldn't be able to catch this pack of cars in front of them. Dropping below the paint there. 27 machine gets a little help from BB. I guess while we're on BB, we'll take a look a little closer. I don't remember if we did it, but we might have. But giving a shout out to the 2002 throwback of Kurt Busch in that Sharpie. BB's been a consistent runner all year, showing up and getting it done. Perhaps one of the younger drivers in the field. Showing some damage on Fairman's truck. The center of the bumper there. Drivers are going 2 by 2. I believe that's into turn 1. I was just looking through the field to see if I was able to see one of the other drivers, but we'll go back up front as they are 2 by 2 up front as well. Down the backstretch into turn 3, I believe. That second pack is caught up. Stretch. Oh, slight contact. I don't know who that is. We'll try to catch the camera. Looks like that might have been. Here in 1 second. Oh, right, right live on Speed Zone TV. These guys are door banging, getting serious here. There's still 23 laps to go. I think what's interesting here is we've seen tonight some new drivers in the field, and I think we really need to be mindful of who's running for points and who's not. BB's getting a shove from Darnell as they try to shuffle out. Drivers do a great job of collecting it, but they're 3 wide further back. Tight racing now. Drivers still don't have enough fuel to go the entire rest of the way. So if it stays green, there will have to be a pit stop here. Three wide as they form down the backstretch. Oh! Contact on Hennings. Not sure what happened there, but we're going to have to see. It looks like there was a bump, and then that 10 machine shot out. Just going to do it the old-fashioned way again and rewind the camera manually as we pull up that our Speed Zone TV instant replay just to figure out what the deuce happened. All right, so got it up here. I'm gonna switch the camera. We have a better view of everything. Like, sure what happened there, if there was contact. Car in front of B. Oh, I don't see any contact. The 10 machine elects to go high, and then I'm gonna do that. My apologies. Elects to go high. If I can get it back here. And not really sure what occurred. Back it up one more time. Down. Contact on the VRX teammate. Richards hard into the wall. Hennings does a good job of keeping it up there. And it's looking like the 08 machine. Pause it there. I can find him on my... Makes contact with Hennings. Not sure how he got up there as well, but it's just a big checkup, so there's a lot going on, and it's very hard to call out everything. Like, Aguilar hooks it to the right, and that's going to cause Aguilar to get into Barker slightly. Barker's down to the bottom. Just a whole bunch of carnage. Back to live action here. That was fun to look at, but now it's over. Trying to get it back here. 1 second. Trick the cameras to go back live. All right. Speed Zone TV tonight. I'm your host, Robert Warrens, bringing the action for race number 8 at the James Wagner's Welding Truck Series for Roughneck Racing. This is season number 6 for these guys. Heck of a season so far. 4 winners of the last 7 races. We're wondering who's gonna be the champion of tonight, and it's gonna drive it like they stole it with 20 laps to go. Up front here, we'll wait for the cars to all draw. Manning, he showed his throwback paint earlier. Take another look at it. Make sure that we've everyone has kudos for the effort that they put in for you guys at home. Enjoy some of the throwbacks. But yep, Manning is running that Ron Hornaday paint. Let's quickly look through some of the other ones. Again, lights are off on the pace truck. But Hurst in the 51 machine. Putting the Neil bonnet. Richardson behind him. Putting the Rusty Wallace. Richards. Right in front of me. That 56 machine. Kevin Harvick paint. Island, fortunately, going in the pits, the blown motor, hoping to get that fixed out. That's going to hurt his points run. Back up to here's here. We're going to stop right there because we're coming around turn 4. That doesn't leave us much time, so we'll resume coverage of the rest of them after we get settled in. 19 laps to go. Not a lot of time, but track position is very important. His truck is in. We're on the outside. He's back up front. His Tide truck. Is out. Not the start that Schuessler needed. Dropping about 4 car lengths, maybe 6 car lengths back. 3 wide already. BB sends her on the outside. With Hurst in behind BB. Greg is coming up to Schuessler's bumper. Guys are still hungry. Not sure how many fast repairs are left in the field, but Wagner's Welding is situated in North Carolina. It's going to be doing a lot of work this upcoming week to get us ready for Nashville Superspeedway. They're our series sponsor, making it possible for you guys at home to view this race tonight on Speed Zone TV. By 2 up front and 3 wide further back in the field. They're going into turn 1 with 17 laps to go. Hennings pushing BB on the outside. See if anyone jumps up there. Back in the field, and that outside groove needs to get a little bit more help, but it is slowly gaining momentum. Nose to tail, everyone just bumping and banging. Hurst jumps up in front of BB. Kills the 3 wide run. Seeing that 27 machine of Hunter jump in front of Hurst. Hennings drops to the middle groove. Sucking up big time. Hurst leaves Hunter. Hennings breaks into his own groove. Wrecking in behind 99 machine in the wall. Looks like it's broken, totaling with more carnage in front. Barker, Wagner, all collected in that. We're gonna back up there. Let's see what we can see. We're gonna use our fancy stuff here. Another Speed Zone TV instant replay. Before we do, we're just gonna wind that back a little bit so you can see where the carnage kind of happens first. So they're 3 wide going into the try. Schuessler's a little high. Looks like he gets a bump from the 08 machine. Sends him into Fairman. Aguilar comes down into Barker. Barker sliding out of control. See, the wheel input is hard left. Aguilar comes down into Barker, shooting him up the track. That's Greg Spicer in the 10 machine. Hard contact in the wall from Barker and Aguilar. And I believe that 10 machine is Greg Spicer. That's going to be where the carnage stops, but you saw Fairman and Schuessler get together, but that more heavier contact was later. Ooh. And Benjamin Richards gets contact from Aguilar. Wagner gets into the 52 machine of Tony Richards, who we haven't been on. Tough break for all these drivers. We're running out of time, but we're going to get back to this live action stuff. 14 laps to go. Niglas is out front sporting a Wagner's welding paint, new in the series tonight, with Mestretta second place and Manning third place. Hennings fourth, Darnell also new, fifth. All right, let's get back to some of our throwbacks. We stopped at Pylon, who was in the pits. Right now, we're going to give a shout out to the David Stremme 2006 throwback. There was a little debate as if it was a Marlin paint, but Presley, as soon as we find him by squinting one eye and looking through the field. Right there we go. Taking a look at the throwback for David Stremme. Done a good job there. Saw it already. See it again. 78 machine of Manning mirroring Ron Horday's 2009 championship truck. Hennings is rocking a Cole Trickle throwback from 1990. Kind of cool. You're a movie buff, you know. And then a Dale Jarrett throwback for Copperthorne. Been a staple in the series so far. Copperthorne is mirroring the 2005 winning truck from Talladega. He's currently sitting in 9th position with 13 laps to go. There's lots of time for stuff to happen here. Our next one up here is BB. Why it's so hard for me to find names today in the field. But right in front of Copperthorne is actually BB. 2002 Kirk Busch. Good job at mirroring that one up. Just saw Barker get some airtime. It is Terry Labonte 2003 throwback with his Frosted Flakes. Oh yeah, Tony the Tiger Hood. Also getting some airtime tonight is the 08 machine of Aguilar, who's currently just getting some damage done up in the pits. Sporting a Dale Jr. tribute paint to Dale Sr. Adamson is also sporting a Dale paint. Currently sitting in, looks like the 19th position. Looney Tunes silly season that occurred in 2002. A bunch of silly season paints that happened. That's going to be all our throwback paints. We're going to, start to focus in on the racing. As we're winding down these laps, there's only 12 left to go. We've had a series of cautions that have made it a little bit treacherous from time to time to really kind of settle into some of that action. Drivers are going to be entering turn 3. I'm showing a couple drivers that have dropped off. That's, kind of what happens with super speedway racing. These are long caution laps. It's almost 2 minutes per caution lap, so it gives us a lot of time for us to hang out with your good friend Rob at Speed Zone TV. That's me, by the way. I'm glad for you guys that are tuning in and making this enjoyable for me to broadcast and bring you some of the action. Tonight for race number 8 at Talladega Superspeedway. Nichols is electing to take the high side. He's done it all night. Manning's on the bottom with Hennings and Hurst in behind him. Darnell and that 99 blue machine on the bottom side. BB and then I believe that's Ramsey are just tucked in behind. Oh, Miss Tretta was, I guess, blinking out. We have to be mindful of that. Once again, Nichols has done a great job getting a great start. Hennings pushing. Manning joining. Hennings outside. These guys aren't done duking it out just yet. Everyone wants a slice of the pie. They're single file. Lead anyways, but further back they're 2x2. The field is starting to thin out a little bit with the amount of damage that's occurred. And it's kind of really hard. We're going to give you a perspective here that we normally do when we got a little bit more time, but there hasn't been a lot of time what's been going on. Let's check. We're going to give you some cockpit views of what these drivers see, and it's going to give you a perspective of when something happens, how, you don't know what's happening. So right now, we're sitting on board with Eagles. We're going to bounce back to Copperthorn here, currently sitting in the 7th position. Only 5/10 back from the leader, and you can see how the funnel starts to feather a little bit, and they're able to manage that. Once again, we're going to drop a little bit further back. Now sitting in the 13th. Oh, contact right in front of us. That was crazy. That was the Ohm 8 machine, I believe. We're going to have to figure out what happened there, but just as you're clicking around, you get to see bing, bang, boom. Not sure if it's going to register. Maybe I'll have to do it the old-fashioned way once again, but that was a hard hit. Take a look at our Speed Zone TV instant replay. What we see. I don't know if we're going to be able to go back and see it. I thought it was an 08 machine. can't get it to show anything. You hear car sounds, so do I. But unfortunately, it's not showing us what I had hoped. Yeah, trying to get back. Sorry for that delay there. Trying to get back to some action for you guys in a second. We're gonna take a second. We're gonna give a shout out to our sponsor, Wagner's Welding. We're gonna roll the commercial there. It's throwback night at Talladega Speedway, but we're gonna just give a little love to Wagner's Welding. Makes it possible for us to be here at Speed Zone TV that do sponsor the series for Roughneck Racing. Big field of cars tonight. Super Speedway racing does give some crazy action, but shout out to Wagner's Welding here.
Roughneck Racing would like to thank our sponsor, Wagoner Welding. Wagoner Welding is a family-owned and operated business located in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. They specialize in custom-built truck beds and framework of all types. You can reach them at 336-670-3427 or visit the shop located at 446 DeHart Church Road. Roughneck Racing would like to thank our sponsor, Wagoner Welding. Wagoner Welding is a family-owned and operated business located in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. They specialize in custom-built truck beds and framework of all types. You can reach them at 336-670-3427 or visit the shop located at 446 DeHart Church Road. Roughneck Racing would like to thank our sponsor, Wagoner Welding. Wagoner Welding is a family-owned and operated business located in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. They specialize in custom-built truck beds and framework of all types. You can reach them at 336-670-3427 or visit the shop located at 446 DeHart Church Road. Roughneck Racing would like to thank our sponsor, Wagoner Welding. Wagoner Welding is a family-owned and operated business located in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. They specialize in custom-built truck beds and framework of all types. You can reach them at 336-670-3427 or visit the shop located at 446 DeHart Church Road. Roughneck Racing would like to thank our sponsor, Wagoner Welding. Wagoner Welding is a family-owned and operated business.
And we're back, Speed Zone TV, bringing you the action. Not very many laps to go at all. 7 laps to go. We got green, white checkers. Hopefully we don't have to use them. We've seen a series of cautions. Unfortunate racing, but still consistently up front. We've seen Eagles, Henning, Manning, Hurst, Darnell. Copperthorne's creeping up there. And was it Copperthorne in the Dale Jarrett car? I believe it was. And just remember what I said. That's one of those fancy winning cars. Neil Bonnet's in the field there in that 51. Manning and his Ron Hornaday. And Richardson is now creeping up, showing in the 10th position in his Rusty Wallace throwback. I'm sure I've missed a couple more of these throwbacks, but they're starting to use the old power that is harnessed in the energy of running those iconic paints. And Cole Trickle, he might have been a fake driver, but Tom Cruise, done a lot of great movies, making it a very iconic role and a very memorable paint. Lights are off on the pace truck. 6 to go now. Not a lot of time left. It's likely we're going to see another caution or two as these drivers fight it out one more time. We do have a mix of new drivers in the field that aren't racing for points but are racing for the crown tonight. I don't think there's a grandfather clock like at Martinsville, but just bragging rights alone is more than enough. If you just take Deep breath right now. Deep inhale. You can smell the fuel and the rubber that these trucks have burnt off at this super speedway. And I think it's very challenging, you know, as you come around to these pace laps. And they're, like I said, they're 2-minute pace laps. They're 50-second race laps. Is just the amount of time you got to think how somebody could become impatient and be anxious to get it started. Here they come, the field, in your top left side of the screen. Once again, green is out. Great start by Niegels. Henning in behind, Henning's on the outside. Hurst in behind Hennings, Ramsey in behind Hurst, and Darnell, the third car on the bottom side. Copperthorne in the far right-hand side of your screen, currently in 7th spot, with Hunter in behind. It's going to be very interesting here. You don't want to take your eyes away just yet. Down into turn 3. Eagles drops down, making the runaway from the inside line. Moving back up to the high side. Dancing around with Lady Luck tonight. I hope she's pretty. Adamson goes 3 wide, shooting out to the back. 4 laps to go. Not a lot of time to get up front here. Wondering if we're going to see the third line form any second now. 50 machine of Ross Tate. We haven't had any airtime for him just yet, but he's currently sitting in about the 7th, 8th position as these cars shuffle around going down the backstretch, coming to 3 to go. Let's go, boys. Keep it together here. We need a strong finish. That's what the viewers want at home. Some nice, clean racing. Oh, Henning, slight contact in front of Hurst, hard into the wall. Everyone's involved. That, I think, will categorize as the big one. Ooh. The caution is out one more time. I think it's just hard bumping, hard racing. We're going to do the old-fashioned speed zone instant reapply by manually doing it, because sometimes it just gets all crazy. We're going to try to dissect what happened here, but there was a lot going on here, so just switch the camera before we take it back. There we go. We're looking at the racing here with Niegels, Manning, Darnell on the inside row, Copperthorne on the bottom. Looks like Hurst gives Hennings a little too much of a push. Tries to get it checked up. Ramsey nowhere to go. Contact into Copperthorne. It's airtime. That's Fairman into Hurst. Wagoner into Fairman. Hurst is really doing a good job of representing the early adoption of Bonnet's wish to bring in the Hans device. That's Tate going backwards in the 50 machine into Ramsey. And that would be our big one. The 52 machine. Coming up to Hurst. Schuessler. I don't know if he's going to squeak by. He do. I mean, that's some crazy carnage here. There's not a lot of time left. This is going to put us into GWC territory. You know, I don't even know what's going to happen next. I couldn't predict it. I'm not even sure how many cautions we've had. We've had too many as far as I'm concerned. But, you know, that's the type of racing that we're going to have. Super Speedway. Once again, our cameraman is snoozing at the helm. We're going to have to give him a shake as we go back to live action. Go. And just crazy times here. Unfortunate break for Hennings and Hurst. We're on board with Hurst in the pit box. Not sure how the leader's going to pan out here. But it's looking like Niegels and Manning are going to be up front as the servers catch up with our timing tower. Green, white, checkered territory. These drivers are going to have 3 times to sort it out and figure out who's going to be taking the crown tonight. Speedstone TV bringing you the action tonight. I'm Robert Warrens with Wagner's Welding Truck Series for race number 8 at Talladega Superspeedway. Been a crazy one tonight. I can't even, fathom some of the patience that these drivers have exerted, as there's been multiple cautions and multiple damaged trucks in the field tonight. Went through a series of throwback paints. The drivers have done a great job of, paying tribute to those drivers that have been racing throughout the years. But tonight has been kind of a story of the 6 machine of Niegels. Newcomer tonight in that 6 machine has been dominant, leading up very many laps. Wonder if they're gonna turn off the lights on the pace truck. Lights are off. Man, oh man. If you thought the racing was crazy at all tonight, you're probably going to start to think that these last few laps are going to be equally as crazy. But for you viewing at home, once we get the white flag, the race becomes official and it's a race to the line. So we're going to try to see what happens, manage what's going on in the field, but also make sure we're giving good coverage to the leaders. Seen a couple more trucks drop out of the race. I'm showing look like we only got about 20 trucks left in the race. Carnage has set in. We've lost 1/3 of the field. That last accident was up front, and there was quite a few drivers involved that unfortunately looks like put a couple of them out of the race. It's time to shine. Eagles has been dominant on these restarts. Manning on the outside, Darnell on the bottom, Hunter in his 90s Jazz City throwback. I don't have a copy of whose car that is, but it's a fancy looking little machine. Ramsey in behind. Henning's on the bottom side of the 3rd row. Richardson and Isgrig in the 4th row. Mama T and Doug Wagner in the 5th row. You guys are stacking up to fight once again. 2 to go at the line. Darnell, good push. Manning, no help in from behind, but that high side with a little bit of help can be very dominant. Watch the leaders break away. We're going to take a look a little further back in the field as these guys are a little crazier. Looks like Hennings has got damage and falling off the pace. 23 machine is Loader with Wagner and Richardson in behind. Adamson is coming up. We're going to see the white flag here. We're going to stay in this view. Loader moves up high. Wagner gives Manning a Wagner gives Manning a bump. This outside line is going to be where we're going to want to watch the action. Race is official. Coming down the backstretch here. The big run on the outside with Manning and Wagoner on the outside. Richardson looking in the third groove. Nagels with Darnell in behind and Hunter on the bottom. Adamson in behind with the 13 machine and Ramsey. Mama T gets tagged, squares up. Good job of keeping that truck under control. We're coming out to turn 4. Ooh. Oh, I don't even know what to say. You saw it live on Speed Zone TV. I was just so lost in the sauce there. We saw some carnage occur, but you're going to see Darnell over Niegels at the line. Niegels threw a block on Wagoner as he made a run, causing him to go sideways. And then Mama T, it looked like, got either turned or whatnot by whomever. I don't know. I guess we can just roll it back for a second. Do it the good old manual way once again. Proved to be pretty fortunate tonight. Let's take a look at what happened there as they were coming to the line. Like, a lot happened. Let's try to figure it out. All right. So here we are. Hunter gets tagged by Manning. Eagles gets tagged by Darnell. See just to your left-hand side of the screen, the 52 machine gets into the 56 machine. Ramsey darts to the bottom of the track. Manning turns Hunter into Adamson. Mama T, they're running 3 wide. Isgrig is moving up the tri-oval. Mama T gets contacted by Richardson. No fault of Richardson. And then just craziness keeps happening in front of us. Wagoner is out of control below the paint. Comes up. Hammers Isgrig. Hammers that 56 machine, I believe. And just more carnage occurs. That's going to be our crazy finish here for Talladega. I don't even know what to say. We're going to get back to the live action here as these drivers are sitting in pit row, or sorry, in the front stretch here. And perhaps go through and get some driver interviews and, you know, go through and run through our finish afterwards. So we'll see who we have in the booth here, get some perspective of anyone as these drivers roll through. What we'll do right now actually is we'll roll through our finish tonight and take a look at our results and just see how everyone fared out. Very different racing tonight. So here's our results for our top 20. Darnell taking the win tonight in that 20 machine, which was really the 99 car. Newcomer tonight. As well, P2 is Niegels in the 6 machine, Manning in the 78 machine in third. That's going to round out our top 3. Wagoner clinches out P4 tonight after a series of tough battles. Richards in the 56 machine had a great throwback paint as well. Looking like he's going to round out the top 5. 40 machine is Grigg in 6th. 52 of Richards, Tony Richards in 7th. 96 machine of Barker in 8th. BB in the 83 machine in 9th. Loader in the 23 car in 10th. Fairman, 99 machine in 11th. Copperthorne didn't fare with too much luck there at the end in that 98 machine, running at the 12th position. Chrissy Two Shoes Schussler in the 61 machine in 13th. Edward Fiedler in the 66 machine. We didn't give him any coverage tonight. We owe him one. Is going to be in our 14th position. Tim Richardson, great throwback in the Rusty Wallace paint in 15th. Had some bad luck at the end. Ramsey, 13 machine in 16th. Greg Speicher in the 10 machine, 17th. Hennings in the 18th position in his Cold Trickle Paint 08 machine of Aguilar, 19th. Mama T in that 70 machine in 20th. And rounding out the field tonight is the 21st of Ryan Hunter. Unfortunate contact for him at the end. I don't think he's able to get across the line. Adamson caught up in that wreck as well in that 46 machine, finishing 22nd. Hurst suffered catastrophic damage after having a great run all night in that 51 machine in his Neil Bonnick throwback. Ross Tate as well, 50 machine in 24th position. Gary Miller, 25th. Mike Presley, great paint by him as well in his David Stremme paint in that 44 machine. I believe it was Stremme. Let's just take a look. Make sure I'm not crazy. Oh man, I did remember something. I'm so proud. Mom, I hope you're proud of me. Chase Mistretta, new to the series tonight, is in the 27th position. And Pylon, not stitching together the finish he wanted, will round out the field in the 28th position. We're going to go ahead and take a look at what we have for interviews in just 1 second. So we're going to bring in our third place finisher here. Ty Manning had a great run tonight, ran up front all night. Ty, you got Rob in the booth. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Well, I don't know. I feel like have we ever spoke before? Hi, I'm Rob.
Oh, hi, Tyler. Yeah, this is my first season running with these guys on the Mondays and Wednesday nights, so it's my first time up in the booth, so happy to be here.
Yeah, happy. Great run tonight, Ty. Like, take us through what was going on, through the start of the run. Like, what was your strategy that you were bringing?
So at the initial start, starting in the back, I was just kind of, biding my time and seeing, and then about halfway through, we got a really good run on the top side and just got all the way up to the lead. So at that point, I knew like, hey, we're going to be fast, we're going to be good to go. And then I just kind of started playing the strategy game. There was a little tussle where I kind of got booted out from the lead pack there and went all the way to the back, and then a crash happened. So it kind of saved me with the caution. So at that point, I was like, hey, we got speed. Let's play the game here, see if we can kind of jump them. And that last pit stop, everybody came down, and I gambled the dice, hoping there was more cautions to go. And lucky enough, I was able to save enough under those cautions and finish up front there. Of course, it was a little chaotic there at the end, but it's how these races end. I didn't turn the 27 on purpose. It was just the lane got stacked up, and there was nowhere to go because I was getting pushed behind. And so I hate that. I hate to wreck anybody. I don't want to tear anybody up, but it is what it is. Got a good run, and it was a good time. Had fun.
Yeah, I mean, congratulations on the P3 finish. Like, I think you've kind of articulated well. I mean, looking at that last, incident as you're coming to the line, my take is that you did get stacked up. Hunter tried to move up and take away the run, and sometimes when you choose to, move around on the track on the last lap, you have to pay some unfortunate taxes. And sometimes the taxes come in your favor and sometimes they don't. But you did a good job at picking and choosing your lanes tonight. You pretty much ran consistently up front all night. And I think, track position plays a big role. Tonight you're running a Ron Hornaday throwback. Is there any specific reason that you're running that throwback paint?
Just a classic, NASCAR driver from back in the day. 2009 and stuff is when I was younger and growing up in the sport. So I seen a lot of Ron Hornaday. So thought it would kind of fit well with the sponsors on the car with Bojangles and Bass Pro and all that stuff. So nothing too crazy. Didn't take too long to throw together, but thought it'd be pretty cool out there.
We're going to Nashville Superspeedway next week. I don't know why they call it a Superspeedway. It's more of a speedway. But
yeah, sure.
What are your thoughts on the racing there? Are we going to see the same amount of cautions? Is it one of your favorite tracks?
Yeah, I really enjoy Nashville. It's tricky with the concrete surface versus asphalt surfaces. So it's usually really slick, and I enjoy slick tracks. That being said, I don't know how much the rest of the field enjoys the slick tracks, right? So like, it's a give or take. We'll see. I hope not. I hope we have nice long green flag runs and let the race articulate. But if not, then we'll try to put ourselves in the best position. Hopefully, get another good finish.
Oh, yeah, I couldn't agree more with that style of racing. I enjoy wheeling the vehicles a little bit more. I was at the ARCA car there a few weeks ago, and it is a very greasy concrete surface.
For sure.
I think weather's going to be a big factor as well. If we have a hot track like we did tonight, I think we're going to see some kind of crazy carnage, right? So,
yeah, 100%.
Are you going to be finishing out the season with us this year as well? Is like your plan to run the rest of them as well? And are we going to see you back up in the booth?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to. There's onesie twosies that I've missed, here at the beginning, but I'm gonna try to the best I can for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you're sitting, I think, a bit further back in the points, around 17th or 18th, and I think some of that, attendance that you weren't able to make played a factor in where you are, because right now, showing your average finish, you're technically, you'd be like a top 5 or at least a top 10 in points. So depending on the drop weeks and how that works, you might see yourself slotted up with, good strong running so far, as far as like a good strong running for the season standing.
For sure. We'll scratch and claw and try to build our way up there.
Heck yeah, brother. Well, congratulations, Ty, on your P3 finish tonight. Great looking paint, and I hope to be talking to you soon. But before I kick you out, is there anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Of course, any friends and family that are watching, appreciate y'all, the support. And then, of course, we always got to shout out Wagoner's Welding for putting on the series for everybody. Being a local boy, Wagoner's Welding is not too far from my hometown, so I love that I'm supporting, local businesses and local people. Always love to do that, so just appreciate them, and hopefully you can keep putting good runs.
Heck yeah. All right, well, congratulations once again, Ty, and I hope to see you back up here. Great run tonight. You did an excellent job at managing track position and strategy to get you that P3.
Appreciate it, brother. Hope to see you soon.
Yeah, take care.
Bye.
That's our P3 finisher, Ty Manning, that 78 machine, Ron Hornaday throwback. We're going to grab our P2 finisher in just 1 second. Take this down. Our P2 finisher is going to be John Darnell. He's a newcomer to the series, so interesting. Oh, actually, he's our P3. We're going to grab our P2 finisher is Cody. Hopefully, he's going to correct me on how I announce his name. Cody, you got Robert in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I do.
Cody, I don't know if I was butchering your last name the whole race or not, or if you were watching it, but, this is your good time to correct me. So, how do you say your last name, brother?
Nagels.
Nagels? I was pretty close. I was saying Neagles, but it's Nagels. I was pretty close. I'll take that as like an 8 out of 10. But great run tonight. You actually had a very dominating performance. You managed your strategy quite well. What were your thoughts on the amount of cautions that occurred? Did you want to see them?
Yeah, I think it was probably like I was being pretty aggressive. I think that was kind of the MO. I brought some of that on myself, honestly. I just need to get used to the drivers and maybe not race quite as aggressively in here. So just a couple little things to learn. But I mean, when we were green, it was good racing, but I just kind of got stuck between a rock and a hard place late because I just was pushed all the way out there, and Talladega is a really wide track to block the whole track, and with the run coming, there's just not a lot I could do, but I'll settle for P2.
Yeah, I mean, great run tonight. I've watched you bounce from the low and the high lane and kind of like stop the runs, which is actually very hard to do and has to be well timed. So you definitely kind of showed up with showing some level of skill that I haven't really seen too much on the super speedway side of it so far. What are your intentions? Are you going to be back next week for Nashville?
Yeah, I'd like to be back next week. I'm going to run probably limited schedule on Wednesdays, even next season, but we'll see because I run Dougie's money racing series later at night. So I had a free evening, figured I'd do this, but I'd like to do some of the intermediate stuff too with these guys. But yeah, I'd like to, maybe we'll see if I can get enough time to run full time next season, but I'm not going to bother finishing out this season, but I'm probably going to hit a few dates when I have free time.
That's awesome. Yeah, I've heard rumors of this money series that Dougie's hosting and sponsored by Wagoner's Welding as well, and it seems that that community has fostered a great set of drivers that showed up tonight and you grabbed a P2. Obviously, you wanted a P1. Would there be anything different that as you're coming and dancing with Darnell? that would have got you the would have got you the victory?
Probably moving up to the middle and pulling the middle back to even out the bottom, because the bottom was so strong. Darnell was just able to push me out there. I think if I move up, bring the middle back, it kind of puts the race more in my hands versus I stayed bottom, which was the safe thing to do, but it put me in like a really vulnerable position, which Darnell did the right thing and he made a great move and just ran to the wall to make sure I couldn't block him, because if I had a shot to block him, I would have, but he made a move that was going to be pretty hard to block, so I'm just not going to risk it, and I don't want to hurt him winning the race.
Yeah. Like I said, you did a great job, and you balanced out kind of the strategy. And congratulations on your P2. Who do you want to give thanks to before we say goodbye?
Yeah, Robert, I want to thank you and Speed Zone TV for broadcasting. Dougie, he sponsors me. So I got Wagoner's Welding on the hood, so I got to give him a big shout out. And I mean, he hosts these league multiple nights a week, and I told him I'm going to start showing up for his stuff a little bit more besides just the money stuff. So I appreciate everything he does, and from what I gather, he gives out a lot of trophies and just a lot of cool stuff in these series. So kind of just looking forward to getting to know everyone behind the scenes and the different teams, and just kind of seeing how everyone works together and how I can mesh best with everyone to help the overall product out on the track. I want to thank Icon Apparel also for being on the truck. My team, Nightmare Esports. I was running with Chase Mastretta tonight, but his internet really wasn't that good, so he had to back out of it. And then my beautiful fiance for allowing me to do this.
Heck yeah, brother. Gotta pay that respect. I think that's important and respectful to do so. So, Cody, congratulations on your P2 tonight. I hope to see you back out here. I want to see what you can do at an intermediate speedway and not just dance on the big open super speedway. So get your butt back out here and put on a show for the people at Speed Zone.
Absolutely, I sure will. Thank you.
Yeah, have a good night, brother.
You too.
Bringing in our winner tonight, first time comer to the series here at Wagner's Welding Truck Series. John Darnell, do you got a copy? It's Robert in the booth.
Yes, sir, Robert. I got a copy.
How the heck are you doing, man?
Oh, I'm doing a lot better now.
Crazy racing tonight, and I think, you picked various strategies. You weren't always up front, but you were in like the mix of the top 10 or so. What did you do to get yourself positioned where you needed to be?
Well, I saved fuel a lot, and just to make sure I had enough there at the end for the green, white, checkered, and I had to watch my temperatures and stuff. I didn't really want to push hard until the last couple laps.
Yeah, pushing was definitely one of the things that likely caused a couple cautions, not from yourself at all, but there was some hard pushing. Was there any time you were concerned about the amount of pushing that was going on?
Oh, there was a couple times late in the race that caused the last couple cautions, man, that they were real close to the front. But that's just everybody trying to run hard, and I don't know. I'm kind of used to it. I've been running the money series with Nagels and all them, and man, Cody's gave me a lot of good information and stuff to grow and learn from too.
Yeah, well, you got it done tonight, Mr. Darnell. So, are you going to be making the trek back here for Nashville next week, or are we going to see any more in the truck series here?
Yeah, I plan on running as much as I can. Like I said, I run a lot of the Wagner Welding R&R money racing series. As I'm Team R&R and them, give a big shout out to Dougie and Chris and all them. They've been a lot of support, man. Like I said, man, yeah, I should be back. I plan on running as much as I can with you guys.
Oh, heck yeah. Well, you put on a heck of a show tonight, a heck of strategy at the line. Talking to Naggles is that, he contemplated maybe, using a different strategy on you, but you played defensively quite well. So you got it done tonight. I mean, heck, I don't even know what else to say, but you should just probably go celebrate. There's a lot of beer-sponsored trucks tonight. Are you a beverage drinker?
Absolutely.
What's your favorite beer?
I know a lot of people say it's a sissy one, but I like Bud Light and a little bit of Twisted Tea as well.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. I assume a little bit more of the Miller Lights. I prefer the Pilsner taste opposed to a lager taste. But Bud Light ain't nothing wrong with a Bud or a Coors or anything like that, man. To each his own. Well, Mr. Darnell, nice chatting with you today. Hope to see you out again. And just like I said to Naggles, it's, I want to see you out here at an intermediate speedway, see what what you can bring to the show, as it's going to be a little bit different racing. We're going to Nashville Superspeedway. It's going to be a greasy time, and if you make the trek out to that, I hope to see you up in the booth again. But before I send you on your way, who do you want to give a shout out to?
First and foremost, James Wagner Welding. They've really brought me onto their money racing team and helped me out a lot. Chris Melton, he's on and off the track, has been good to me. My girlfriend Janet, man, the continued support, it's unbelievable. And just everybody that's in these money racing communities and league communities, man, are just trying to get better and win every time, man.
Yeah, it's definitely hard to do, especially when there's money on the line. The level of competition picks up, and super speedway money racing is just a different entirely. I'll be honest, John, I'm not a super fan of super speedways. It's just not my style of racing. But just like you said, Bud Lights and Twisted Teas are your jam. Miller Lights are my jam. So if you love super speedway racing, you definitely put on a heck of a show tonight for that we're watching. So be sure to go back and watch some of that broadcast and just shout out. And before I say goodbye, just like I said, just want to reiterate to you, come back out on a regular night show where it's not one of these plate tracks, and show us how you'd get it done.
Absolutely, man. Thanks for the broadcast. It was a good one. Again, thanks, to James Wagner, Chris Melton, everybody that's all involved in this whole R&R group, man. I really, 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 really like this league, and I'm going to try my hardest to be out there at Nashville next week.
Well, congratulations again, John. And like I said, hope to see you up in the booth again, and go pop a couple bottles, a couple cans, whatever it is you do. Heck of a show tonight.
Thank you, buddy. Again, good broadcast.
Yeah, take care. That was our P1 finisher, John Darnell, putting on a heck of a show between Naggles and Manning. Just a bunch of different action throughout the entire night. A bunch of different lead changes. We saw Hurst and Hennings up there. We saw Wagner get up there. A bunch of different trucks peeped the top 10. Unfortunately, cautions were an issue tonight, which took away the ability to see some of the green flag stops. We lost about 1/3 of the field through attrition, where that impacted some of these drivers that are currently in the points battle. We're going to have to recap that just a little bit. Let's take a look at our point situation. Unfortunately, I can't share anything with you guys on our screen, but I can sure the heck talk, because that's what I'm here to do. Is that currently Hennings has maintained his points lead over Pylan, who's in second. Adamson is in third. Hurst in fourth. Barker is in fifth. Behrman squeaks into the sixth position. Richardson is in seventh in points. Wagner is in eighth. Ninth belongs to Isgrig. 66 machine of Feidler is in 10th. That's going to round our top 10 in points. We're going to have to give that some coverage once again. Next race. We're going to Nashville Superspeedway next week. It's going to be a heck of a show there. As you heard from Manning, it's a greasy track, different style of racing. These drivers here at Roughneck Racing for season number 6 of the Wagner's Welding Truck Series have been giving you all types of different racing on different surfaces. Nashville is concrete. It's a little bit harder to get grip. And if you use those tires, it also starts to plow to the wall. So we just saw the finish on the screen there. Hats off to our winner again, John Darnell. First time appearance with his PGR Esports truck. So we're going to be signing off from Speed Zone TV. We'll be back again next week. We're going to be rounding out the season. Only 4 races left, and a heck of a battle that we've seen. So after Nashville, we're moving on to Charlotte, on to North Wilkesboro. Definitely get your popcorn out for that one. And we're closing out the season at Kansas Speedway. So we're moving away from super speedways to intermediate speedways to a short track, then closing it out again at an intermediate speedway. I mean, if you thought the barn was burning, definitely going to be burning with the next 4 races as these drivers are clawing down at the final bit for their chance at a championship. I'm Robert, I can't even say my own dang name. I'm Robert Warrens at Speed Zone TV, bringing you the action. Make sure you're sharing out the stream with your friends and your family. Go back and watch it. Throw a like on it. We love what we do here to bring you guys the action. And once again, shout out to Wagoner's Welding, who sponsors the series at Roughneck Racing. He's going to be busy in the shop building new trucks because the amount of cautions and broken trucks we saw tonight, that's definitely, we're going to be building chassis and putting on new bumpers and bodies for sure. So once again, shout out to Wagoner's Welding, shout out to Roughneck Racing and the admins that make it possible for everyone to view here tonight. And once again, we'll just be signing off. So see you next week as Speed Zone TV is going to be bringing you the action at Nashville Superspeedway. Have a good night, everyone.
Roughneck Racing would like to thank our sponsor, Wagoner Welding. Wagoner Welding is a family-owned and operated business located in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. They specialize in custom-built truck beds and framework of all types. You can reach them at 336-670-3427 or visit the shop located at 446 DeHart Church Road. Roughneck Racing would like to thank our sponsor, Wagoner Welding. Wagoner Welding is a family-owned and operated business located in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. They specialize in custom-built truck beds and framework of all types. You can reach them at 336-670-3427 or visit the shop located at 446 DeHart Church Road. Roughneck Racing would like to thank our sponsor.